the round, but they have a far better buy. That is the nature of the CT side, after all. It's very expensive to buy up, and Na'Vi are realizing that the hard way, but will they realize what Fnatic have in their hands? And that is a hell of a lot of guns as they set up for this A site execute.
Well, creeping forward, Twist. They're all going to go ahead and behead Simple, so he's continuing to have a bit of a slow start here. Here's the star on Na'Vi. Electronic lies in wait long, and he's going to line up so many bodies, but maybe that's too many to deal with. Zeus trying to do what he can. Will get traded out by Brolin. Edward on this flank, though. He's quickly lined up too. The bomb's down, but it's fallen into a 1v1 JW versus Edward, and Edward has looked utterly fantastic and just downright terrifying thus far for Na'Vi. JW going to peek into it, but Edward does spot him. Bombs planted out in the open. W over in the bank. Here's Edward tap on that bomb. He knows he has to peek into this, and Edward's wrapped around. Edward's going to win out the 1v3. Single-handedly, he's going to pull Na'Vi through this 9th round, locking it in. And you know, that kind of brings back maybe some flashbacks as well from that 2nd round that we saw Na'Vi have on their T side when they just had the pistols. They get the bomb down, you know, they find themselves in a 1v1 or 1v2 actually there, but it was Crims to bail them out. Likewise, we see Edward do the same on the CT half for Na'Vi.
Yeah, stars aligning there for him. Fantastic play, of course, but Fnatic, they get the bomb down. They have their back turned towards short, and not expecting that quick flank from Edward where he gets 2, you know, well-timed kills. That's a really nice round from Edward, and as you said, he's been playing lights out today, but look at this buy from Fnatic. They are not done with this. They continued forcing it. Fnatic on... is this Na'Vi on the T side? Like, we're seeing so many force buys from Fnatic in both halves. And they're getting so close, Harry, but it's not enough. And that's the same in this round, because Edward, he's continuing. Great start to this round. Crims is there with the trade, but he's down to 16 HP after that gunfight. Flamey making sure they can't push in through the smoke, and Brolin gets dinked as well. This is going from bad to worse. Zeus has finished off the frag. One player has been spotted on short, but JW, he's going to need a huge effort to try and bail his team out of this horrible, horrible round that's gone the way of Fnatic, and he's done it into a 3-on-3. Na'Vi absolutely fine with taking the gunfights here, and while that did start out pretty well for them, it's now tapered off. Fnatic are going to be pulling in a boost, and with the man on barrels as well, this could be a very, very well-timed boost. Unfortunately for them, Simple just moves down the ramp and pushes up towards short, so if he gets aggressive here, Simple can cut this entire round down.
He almost certainly could, and what a man to do it. Simple holding the angle over here by short, scoped on in. And he's just waiting right now, going to hear that drop down and anticipates JW going to go walking into his crosshair. So now just Crims and Exist up, the 2 top fraggers.
Wow.
Oh, Exist going to go ahead and land that wallbang. Mention how Exist always seems to best Simple. I'm not entirely sure what goes on for that to happen, but Electronic might have the fate of this round in his hands. Indeed he does, and he's going to go ahead and cut down the remaining 2 players for Fnatic. Na'Vi moving into a 10th. They reach double digits there.
What a filthy wallbang as well, because Simple was 100 HP when Exist did that, and he got it on like the last bullet of the mag as well. That orb doesn't get saved. Note that for Na'Vi. Zeus was, sorry, Flamey was not able to run back and grab that in time. So we actually just have rifles here for the Na'Vi camp, but that's fine, because Fnatic are on the force buy, or the half buy here. This is an okay buy, because again, they've got loss bonus now to play with after Na'Vi having a pretty successful CT start to this map. That's 3 rounds in a row here for the Na'Vi guys, after Fnatic are favoured on the half. We've not really seen these potential full buys from Fnatic. Remember that, right? Because we've had a couple of rifle rounds, but it's been like forces with Galils, UMPs, AKs, kind of a mixed bag. So I want to see this AWP, I want to see the full utility, and I want to see an execute from Fnatic. But for now, it is quite the opposite.
What's Simple over here at long has gone ahead and picked up JW. Now you can see Fnatic going to try and double back, maybe try and either go blow for blow with Simple or just leave, and they decide to leave this A bomb site. Down towards B they come. Zeus standing here alone, has it all to do, and he throws out that incendiary towards short. Flamey tries to bail them out, and he might have done just that with a quick double kill. It leaves now just Brolin and Crims in this round. Zeus still being a nuisance, and Crims going to get caught off by Edward on the barrels. So Na'Vi in 11th round, but buy on the horizon at least for the Fnatic guys. No AWP going to be bought out though. Instead, rifles across the board here. Simple. I think he's been throwing one across over on the side of Na'Vi.
I think he's just waiting to buy it. There it is, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
He had 7k, so he didn't buy, so I was waiting for that to come through. And yeah, this is going to be fun to watch as now, especially with no AWP for Fnatic. We always talk about Simple maybe not always having the best of T-side starts when Na'Vi start on the T-side. Like, look at maps like Inferno, for example. We don't always see him come off to a fantastic performance, but typically when we get him this AWP and we put him on the CT side, he just comes back into his own, and he's already started that off here. Big kill in the previous round, and starting off this one by taking down JW in the party. Oh, the jump from Brolin gives away his position, and Electronic gets aggressive as well. He can even smoke out this spot and fall back as well. Flash does allow him to peek, and he spots Twist, but isn't able to finish off the frag. And now Electronic, he should just bail out of this situation. We got a 5-on-3 for Na'Vi. No reason to continue aggress, and they won't, because 3 players falling onto that A-bomb site. And now this is just such a horrible position for Fnatic.
Yeah, we have to see them do so much to get back into this round, and even then you take a look at it in terms of utility, you've only got 1 smoke still up. The 2 Molotovs there can be used to flush some of these players out, but the issue is you're going to give Simple all these long sight lines, all these big angles to try and exploit. Fnatic now setting up for the A side take. They're going to try and put these Molotovs to the best use they possibly can, and they go in now, but Simple, they have actually been able to find him, so not having that smoke down is going to work out in their favor for the time being. But rotation's already coming on in, and Zeus buying in the opener from long. He's still going to continue to put up damage at least. Crims comes in with the trade. Electronic, while he's been Molotoved out, they might wish that he wasn't. Maybe going to go down at the very end. So only 2 players surviving that for Na'Vi, but still that is more than enough.
Zeus just has no fear in getting all this info and kind of not throwing his life away, but taking huge risks to not only get damage, but also information to set up his team. We saw him there on long. He gets 1 kill, doesn't need to get aggressive. Na'Vi have a 4v2. They have nades, but Zeus just goes wide strafing and tries to take another kill to Fnatic. He does a lot of damage to exist. He goes down, but he gets the information that, okay, both players are here for Fnatic. Na'Vi are ready for the push, and they can commit with that full rotation. So
I love just how backwards this Na'Vi scoreboard looks. Like
right?
if you looked at this, if you'd never watched CS before, you'd be like, wow, this Edward guy, he's pretty good. So is this, but this Flamey and Simple,
what are they doing?
Yeah, they're not even on the board, But
they don't need to be. This is getting really good for Na'Vi.
Edward
Fnatic have yet to have a T-side round.
Looking good. Yeah, exactly. There's been no progress here from Fnatic on their T side, and that was kind of my worry, right? Their CT side looked good. They were off to a great start, but then Na'Vi start to build up some of this confidence. They have their better side coming up, and I was wondering, is it just going to be a stop? Or maybe not, because JW and co. Oh my goodness, how have they found all of this? They found 3 frags down here in the connector, and suddenly it's looking great for them to win this round. It's Edward and Flamey left up, but Edward, he's been spotted deep within the depths, the back line of Fnatic, and that's going to allow them and actually spur them on to just hit this A-bomb site where Flamey resides alone. He's got it all to do. An M4A1S to try and get the job done with. They line up for him. He's done a decent bit of damage, spread thinly across Fnatic, and he keeps on holding his own. Flamey, 3 kills there, and he's made this round possible. It's Edward versus Twist in the 1v1.
We'll call his name out, and he's going to show up in such a big situation. This wasn't even a full buy for Fnatic, and they've made it a very, very doable spot. Twist with the AWP is going to be his weapon of choice as well, and he goes down towards that B bomb site. And Wood has to just take a guess here. And he commits with neither. He just sits in that spawn instead. Twist not going to smoke Heaven, but instead wants to run in with the AWP and try and take the fight. There's no one there for him. Big risk to just run out with the bomb, but I guess he has the assumption that Edward would not commit to that rotation. And he is correct in that. So now Twist posting up, watching the Heaven spot. Edward going to move him from exactly there, but Twist, he's just unscoped. He's just gone back towards short, and there it is. He spots it, but he misses it. Smoke down to try and cut off more sight lines of Edward, and he wraps all the way around through short. Edward does have a smoke and a kit, though, and this is where things can get complicated, because that nade, it won't be enough to get the full kill from Twist. He has to get this shot off. Edward's yet to get on the bomb, and there's the tap, but does Twist realize that smoke's not fully covering it? There's the nade. Edward's off the bomb, and this time is done. This round is over. Twist has just won it on his own without having even to take the fight. And I mean, that is just a case of AWP hunting for Na'Vi, right? They lose Simple in the connector. We see a player chase down with an MP9. He dies as well. Zeus runs in with an M4. He dies as well. It just starts falling apart for Na'Vi. And to give away 3 kills like that just to try and stop Fnatic from getting the AWP, not going to be the right call to make. And to think that's the first round Fnatic get on their T side with pistols.
Na'Vi going to make a nice decision here, though, that I'm a very big fan of. They bought a bit, but it's fine. Yeah, they can still get a buy into the next round. We've seen Na'Vi be very lavish with their spending, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. But this round they've opted to be frugal as ever. Zeus being the only man to stick a little bit of investment in, alongside that AK that was carried forward on Edwards. So they have a chance in this round at the very least. They're going to try and take control over here. Toward connector, and that's a good nade to find damage onto Exist early on. 3 players for Na'Vi. Actually 4 players down in this B-bomb site. Now 5. Look at them walking into the camera shot there. It's a gathering of these CTs.
Are they going for a boost? It looked like it for a second. They kind of considered it, but now Fnatic are throwing in nades, and Na'Vi don't want to get caught out of position, but Edward, he gets exactly that. The 1 rifle for the team has been dropped, and Brolin is just entering like a king here to make it 3, and he's going to hunt for that 4th frag as well. Electronic is on the left side of Graffiti, and this round is done. If you didn't already know, Fnatic with a bomb down and a 5-on-1. And despite Electronic having a strong performance here alongside that of Edward, it is not going to be strong enough to win this round for Na'Vi. And this is where Fnatic can really come into their own on the T side, right? 2 rounds in a row. Na'Vi will be buying up. Ooh. 4 frags for Brolin in that round.
Well, AWP thrown over to Simple, and that's going to be something they don't want to risk losing again. Yeah, still very at the forefront of their mind, that round prior in which they lost Simple early on and then all tried to refrag to make sure that AWP didn't get passed around. Over on the side of Fnatic, the AWP going to be thrown over to Yamana JW. Fnatic looking like they might just try their hand once again down here towards this B-bomb site. They had good success here in the previous round. They made it look pretty easy, and now they look to see if they can do it once again, this time versus the full buy of Na'Vi.
Oh, that smoke's so awkward. Twist has got ahead of it. He's found a kill. Zeus is fully flashed as well, and that's a wallbang from Twist. This round is going absolutely haywire, and Simple's going to do his best to keep things intact, but JW's already posted on Heaven, and just like that, Na'Vi are out. They're done. They're running for the hills, Harry. It's Fnatic with 11 rounds. These B-site executes have just been relentless. And that push ahead of the smoke from Twist, I mean, Na'Vi were just so unprepared for that.
Yeah, and I mean, now with 4 players staying alive over on the side of Fnatic, money's given a chance to start to build up, and those bank accounts are going to very quickly swell out of control. This could very much be the way back into this game for the Swedes. This has looked for the most part like a good map for Na'Vi. We haven't really seen too much of this we haven't seen the new Fnatic roster on it at all. So it's been an impressive showing early on. Of course, we saw Na'Vi just yesterday beat FaZe on this map 16-14. That was another close affair. Na'Vi, they are a big fan of keeping us on the edge of our seat. There's still time for this to turn around.
Yeah, the way you have to look at Na'Vi is they've never won a game until they win it. They've also never lost a game until they lose it. They can always come back. They can always win the most ridiculous situations. They can also lose the most ridiculous situations. But here in Pro League, it's been mainly the former of which they've been winning pretty much every single game they played. 7-1, did you say? 6-1?
7-2.
7-2. No, that really?
No, it's
that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, 6-2 makes more sense.
Some number I forgot.
But either way, they have been having a really good season so far. They're 8-1.
Yeah, 8-2 actually.
8-2.
Yeah. They have an overtime loss.
That makes more sense, yeah. 8-1 wouldn't make any sense.
No, it wouldn't.
8-2, that is sick. Astralis are currently sitting as top of the league, 11-3. So 8-2 definitely isn't too bad to sit behind as well. So Na'Vi have been having some strong performances, and it started to fall off a little bit here in the second half, Harry. This is where things could certainly fall out of control for Na'Vi. They've got a buy, they've got the AWP, of course, but again, we've been mentioning it, Simple. We've been waiting for him to kind of style up. He's been finding a kill around-ish in the CT side, but it's kind of not what we need from him, especially when Fnatic are approaching on Na'Vi's heels and getting close to stealing this map away. That's a great Molotov. Zeus is going to have to run right through it. The option there was either to stick ahead of it, which you would not want to do with a UMP, or run right through and take the damage. And Zeus does exactly that, so Fnatic still focusing on this A-bomb site, but They've got a triple setup here for Na'Vi with that all from Simple, and he's going to find the shot over the smoke. Twist getting decapitated. And Fnatic, after spotting that, they might drop down towards B, but that's exactly where Simple is going.
Yeah, we need to see some vintage Simple AWPing in this round. He's going to be getting up against JW. Edward now holding. Flashed on round. He's going to go ahead and do the bulk of the damage on a JW. Exist is actually there to finish him off. So now Simple, all that stands between Fnatic and this B bomb site, trying to buy time, and the rotations are in. Simple, though, might do more than just buy time. He might buy the round, as he's got ahead and found himself a hat-trick. 3 kills to his name, and just Exist left up in a 1v3, and as good as Exist has looked, 13 HP to his name. He's going to back away, look to try and hold on to the AWP here. It looks like he should get away with this. There is a man hunting him. That man is Zeus, and he might just cut him off over here in mid, but nah. It's going to be a 13th round for Na'Vi, all on the back of Simple starting to find some success here.
That's exactly what we needed, Harry. A big multi-kill round coming out from the star performer, the best player in the world, touted by many. And honestly, it's been the other guys on Na'Vi really been going through Pro League with some sick performances. I'm looking at Flamey, I'm looking at Edward, I'm looking at Electronic. Like, these guys have been the star factor for Na'Vi in these online games as of late. And let's see if that continues, because Edward right now, he's been having a fantastic map of Counter-Strike. Electronic in the same case. Fnatic, they've set up early outside of B. Crims is going to get a big chunk of nade damage. And actually, if we look at this setup here from Na'Vi, very focused once again on that A bomb site. They had 4 in the previous, they've done it once more. Edward's playing passive here in the CT spawn, playing for retake, and Zeus is going to begin to rotate down. Grim's taking more and more damage with this Molotov. So a good time for Fnatic to actually rush into this B site. It's common that you see early B setups with 4 players and then quick rotates back towards A if there's no rush, but quite uncommon to see the flip side. Because if Fnatic just charge into this bomb site, that'd be Na'Vi having to retake instantly. And yeah, okay, that's a viable setup. You can play for retake, but it's not always the easiest to get back into, especially if Fnatic had 5 players alive. Well, the smokes are coming in this time. Fnatic getting ready to go for the full push, and Na'Vi, luckily enough, only 2 players here, so Fnatic have a very good chance of getting out.
Yeah, well, Simple's now just arrived to the party, so actually it's going to be 3. These rotations going to be fast and thick in through connector, but it's Simple roaring to life early on. He does find one. Now he's all that stands between Fnatic and getting this bomb down, and he's going to miss that shot. So Twist able to pick him up, and suddenly you're relying on Flamey and Electronic if you're Na'Vi to try and find this 14th round, deny that bomb going down. And it's still yet to come through for Fnatic, but Na'Vi just going to give this up. They back away. They play things safe. I mean, Fnatic will be picking up a 12th round.
Yeah, peculiar cool. They just gave that up super early. So interesting to see from Na'Vi again, considering the money is actually trash across this entire team. No one has anything apart from Flamey. These guns are going to be very valuable, but even if Na'Vi buy around it, it's not like they're going to have a lot to play with. That being said, Fnatic, another T round on the board. They are starting to get back into the swing of things here on Overpass. I was a little bit worried at the start of the second half that this wouldn't really go their way. Oh, that's awkward on the timing. Flamey walks across right as Crims peeks him, and that'll be Fnatic taking most of the guns away from Na'Vi. Only 1 weapon saved, and as you can see, $1,400 on the loss bonus. A hard reset from Fnatic's and Na'Vi's economy. So even a force buy wouldn't be a bad idea here. They've got a double eco regardless. I mean, there's no really bad decision in this round. Na'Vi is screwed whatever. And while Zeus buys and Simple will join him, everyone else kind of holds onto a bit of money. So, yeah, it's fine for Na'Vi. Fnatic, though, they're going to be able to equalize this scoreline, Harry. We're going to be seeing 13-13 unless this 1AK has a heroic... well, if they can get on the boost, a heroic round. And there is the boost from Electronic.
Yeah, that'll be love throwing these little cheeky triple, quadruple man boosts into a round. I think now's the perfect time to do it, right? With the 1 solitary AK up on Electronic, you're going to be relying on him doing something absolutely magnificent. Now, Flamey and Zeus going to be doubling up, taking some aggression down here in towards short. You do have Crims at this side of the map keeping an eye on things right now, but he's still yet to spot anyone. While the rest of the team working this long angle, currently up in that A bomb site. We've seen Simple and Co rotate on in, and that's largely on the back of Edward. Finding information for free down in the connector, relaying that this portion of the map is clear, and now another boost going to be employed. Electronic put up here, but Crims, as he shuts down 2 players outside of B, he's now primed and ready to reveal that this is clear. Fnatic, they're not showing any signs of anything other than this A bomb site. They're going to try and make this work, and in they go. Simple immediately bested, and now Electronic up on this boost has to come up clutch, peeking over the top. He does shut down one. Now they know where he is. They have his name and his number. He's going to try and barrel on through. It might be able to deny the bomb plant here, but Twist, ever watchful, the guardian angel of Fnatic, he's actually going to find everyone at the very end. So 13 to 13, that one rifle on Electronic doesn't get anything done.
Look at this from Twist. I don't think he even saw. No, just shot through the smoke. JW was hiding there with a pistol, but it doesn't matter. And Twist, he was bottom of the board here for Fnatic in that first half. Coming back into his own. Second place, I think he is now. So definitely had a stronger T side. And yeah, well, first on the scoreboard, but that's the score per half anyway. So, I mean, it shows how much damage he's been doing on this T side instead. And not even having the AWP to do it. JW's now been taking that. And once again, he does don that big green gun. Na'Vi with just pistols. And this is where Fnatic get 14, but again, as we know, Na'Vi never give up. So fine, we're giving away a 14th here to the Swedish. They will still have a pretty decent buy, all things considered, coming up. With that AWP as an option, because Edward saved about $4,000 for his team. Flamey, same case. Look at Crims. What a sneaky devil.
Yeah, he's very sneaky indeed, is Crims, and now he's going to go ahead and reveal his position to Na'Vi. Simple, while he's able to trade, it's all gone the way of Fnatic. Flamey and Electronic left up, and they're not really expecting to get too much done here. Electronic already in position at short, going to get smoked off. Flamey arrives late and is going to get polished off by JW. So a 14th round on the board here for the Swedes, but a buy, as you say, coming in for Na'Vi in this next round. Oh, Electronic's been forced to take this fight. That's not amazing. 14 to 13. Hugo, Swedes back in the lead at the last hurdle. We saw Na'Vi yesterday. Every one of their games go in the full 30 rounds almost. It looks like this one is going to be the same.
Well, the double AWP is here, Harry. It's been the first time this map, I think, we've seen it. Simple and Flamey donning that, so nothing too special here for Na'Vi, but let's see if either one of these two players can bring this back for Na'Vi, because right now Fnatic are bordering match point for this best of one. Bit of connect control. Always risky when Na'Vi have a kind of like a low economy situation. They've got to buy, but definitely some chances for shotguns and SMGs in that connector, which we have seen before from Zeus. Luckily for Fnatic, they won't punish them, and that's a wallbang. That's so unfortunate. Zeus is going to go down nice and early. Edward could wallbang this as they set up for their own bit of a cheeky boost, but will they be ready? Exist creeping through. Flamey gets aggressive, and he finds himself a kill. This boost couldn't be better timed, because now Na'Vi is shifting their adjustment on this B bomb site, trying to reposition. Flamey doesn't get caught as JW falls off the top of Exist's head. That was a perfect opportunity for Fnatic to steal a man advantage, but it won't go their way. Na'Vi triple rotate on B right now, but they're going to give that up once they hear these players from Fnatic back off and the pressure stops being put down on B short. Na'Vi with Simple and Electronic here on this A bomb site. This is a dastardly duo. Fnatic setting up smokes for 35 seconds on this A bomb site.
Yeah, you're running in to, as you say, the dastardly duo of Na'Vi, Electronic and Simple here to keep Fnatic at bay. But already Simple, he's been bested, runs into the pre-fire of Crims, and now Electronic has it all to do. 20 seconds on the clock and so many players coming his way. He does get bested. Brolin chiming in with another, and Flamey, AWP in hand, has to just back away and try and save. This is going to be the lion's share of what they have into the last, what could be the last round of this game. 15 to 13, Na'Vi with a force buy coming in this next round. The AWP on Flamey likely going to get thrown across to Simple to try and have him go off and have another big round. But Fnatic, they're going to be the team to arrive at match point here on Overpass.
Yeah, and what a way as well, especially with how Na'Vi, they came into the second half looking good. They started off so strong on the CT side, and Fnatic were just round after round below. And then boom, they win one eco, and it's just been almost flawless since that for Fnatic. Really been dragging themselves back into this game. And it has shown to be wonderful for them. 3 players on 20+ kills. Only 2 for Na'Vi, and 2 rounds behind that of overtime. As they try and force to keep themselves in this map, Harry. What have we got? Simple does get the AWP back, but it is a real ragtag buy from Na'Vi. A couple of SMGs, a shotgun on Zeus once again. Where will he be? Probably in the connector, yep. With Simple on his back. A nice shot from Simple. That's such a good way to start things off. He's going to go back in for more, but Crimson killed his teammate. Simple adjusts fantastically and keeps things in play for Na'Vi. A man advantage taken, but Fnatic slowing down the pace, looking to try and isolate other players who are under-equipped, and Electronic is a perfect example.
Yeah, but still, they've gone by him, and this MP9 is so deadly at these closer ranges. He lets them cross, and now JW does a fantastic job of securing that trade. Simple, who looks absolutely unhinged right now. Those 2 kills he's been able to get are key for Na'Vi. They needed them, and he is... I mean, you could just tell by the way that he took those fights. He's looking to have a big impact in this round. And speaking of big impacts in this round, look at Zeus. He's all the way in party here alone, and... he's getting a lot of information on the back of it. That Molotov forces Simple away. He's going to burn in it. Tries to take the peek on through. And actually, I think he runs back into a second Molotov that went down as well. So Flamey and Zeus, they lose one of the most important men in this whole operation. And now they have to try and dig deep between them. But Flamey doing damage, has been spotted. This flank from Zeus has to come in soon. And there we go. He now pounces, leaving all the pressure onto JW. 1v2, 30 seconds left. And I think he's going to try and find this frag over here towards long, onto Zeus first, as the Hunter gets hunted down. JW does find the first, and now just Flamey left to topple.
Yeah, 20 seconds, so he's got to go fast. Flamey's got an aggressive Flamey forcing the fight. JW not expecting to be peaked there with such low time, because Flamey could have just played that clock and gone passive in the back of CT spawn, considering that bomb was down. But, I mean, that's the last thing you expect of your JW, an aggressive CT with 10 seconds on the clock. Fnatic, of course, they had to go for that round. They have all the money in the world for this 30th. So, again, all the rounds here, Harry, but will it be all the wins for Fnatic, or are Na'Vi going to bring us to overtime? Double shotgun buy. Simple doesn't have that AWP, and as you said, he was such a playmaker in the previous round. Molotov down towards that B bomb site. He's taken a lot of control towards short this time. Instead of pushing out the connector, gone towards the water. Fnatic really taking the time with this one. That's a good decision, but Crims, he waits for no one, pushing in through B Monster, and he's been a nuisance here before. He's crept out, been having a lot of impact. Him and Twist out on this B bomb site. Flamey's got to be very careful sitting at the back as well, because he's got short and long to cover. No teammates here. In fact, Simple's still pushed up, so Flamey only has to worry about the monster. There's a good off angle to play from as well, because Fnatic, not knowing that Simple's taken water control, probably won't check this angle. Simple eventually falls back, and there it is. Flamey winning his duel. The off angle, perfect for Na'Vi. And even though they pulled it back to a 4-on-4 with this health on 50 HP for 2 players, and Fnatic grouped up towards this A bomb site, this could be a recipe for disaster for Na'Vi.
Yeah, crucially, you don't have that AWP on Simple anymore. He's going to be relegated down to the rifle here in this round, and he does have 2 players with him now up inside of A, and that's all on the back of the information that once again Zeus is getting. He's been so key in these positions. He's now cleared out connector. That's forced 3 players up here in toward A, and Fnatic have to try and make this happen, but they're walking into a crossfire. Simple now from the truck. Fnatic realizing the error of their ways. This wrap round from Zeus is all that remains as everyone falls inside of the bomb site. And now Zeus once again, he's been key. He has to try and get the job done with the Mag 7. They're both there. Missed shot does find JW, and now the 1v1 versus Exist. The 2 brains of these 2 teams going head to head. And that Molotov misses its mark from Exist. Zeus could look to stick on this bomb. He has a kit, but no, sorry, has a smoke. Doesn't have a kit to work with, and Exist playing this absolutely perfectly right now. Zeus has the idea. Gonna go pushing into Exist, and he's gonna get it. There's enough time for the defuse. I think it's gonna come down to the wire, but Na'Vi looking to take us through to an overtime here in map number 1, and he will be getting it. It's gonna be 15 to 15 overtime here on Overpass. Zeus
keeps his cool in the 1v2.
That's so surprising as well, because Exist, he doesn't peek on that first bomb tap. He just stays passive, knowing that Zeus won't stick the defuse, because, again, he had a shotgun. You can assume that he's not going to have the money for that kit. But then Zeus starts running, making noise, and Exist kind of moves forward a little bit and offers himself up. Gets caught in that walking animation, so that's so unfortunate. But great round from Zeus as well in the clutch. This flank has just been so annoying, and again, a nice crossfire from Na'Vi on that A bomb site. Fnatic, they come so far, Harry, but again, we know Na'Vi are the overtime kings, the 30-round boys. However, definitely some sick displays from that of Twist, Crims. JW had his moments as well, but not enough for Fnatic. They've got to go for at least another 4 rounds. Likely more. Again, MR 310K, 16K? Oh, I actually don't know what we're running. We've seen more 16-14s and overtimes. It's 16K as far as I'm aware, but yeah, that is the case. That is the case. So, scoreboard's up for you now. Everyone looking good here for Fnatic. Surprisingly, exists at the bottom of the board. He's been someone we've been calling out as having a lot of impact, coming in with some crucial kills, but maybe not as consistently as some of the others. And now it's nice to see Simple stepping up as well. Well, yeah, ADR definitely doesn't show it, considering how slow he was in that first half. He's come back into his own somewhat. I thought that was live for a second until I saw Crims get 3-1 taps, and I was like, oh, okay. Bit of a B-stream update for you guys at home as well. We've got Mousesports versus Big in their first map of the day on Dust 2. That is currently 15-15.
No, 18.
18-15. Oh, so the scoreboard's wrong. 18-15 in favor of Big right now. Also another overtime game there. So 1 round away from Big for picking up that game.
Yeah, that's exciting as well in and of its own right. Big doing an absolutely fantastic. You know, they were the team that moved up from MDL last season, which, you know, is the one surefire way into the Pro League, by the way. Shout out to the Mountain Dew League. But yeah, I mean, that's a real interesting thing to keep an eye on. I think they're currently sitting 3rd in the overall rankings right now, so they're having a decent start. But heading into the first half of overtime here, Hugo. 15-15, Fnatic over on that T side. They weren't quite able to close out this game, and now Na'Vi looking to try and in typical Na'Vi style, secure this in an overtime.
Yeah, Na'Vi seemingly not being able to take convincing victories here in the Pro League. Double AWP up here for the CT side. JW on his own on an AWP, and he's already gone, in fact. Flamey just peeked out down on Monster with the help of a flashbang, and he's going to get that opening kill. Great start now for Na'Vi. Definitely what you would want. How will Fnatic respond? Because it's rare we've actually seen them start off on the man disadvantage on this T side in the last few rounds. They were really dominating their way through it. Na'Vi started off their CT side with a 5-round streak in a row, and then it took them another 10 to get just 3. And here we are with a man advantage. Fnatic still looking at this B bomb site, curiously enough. Maybe thinking, oh, Flamey's here, so Simple's not. That's one positive to take away, but 45 seconds on the clock, setting up some utility to go for this execute. They don't have to commit. They can always back up that connectable. With players committed towards Monster, it looks like this is the push for Fnatic.
Here's Brolin looking to spearhead this offensive for the Swedes. Smoke does give Na'Vi some temporary room to maneuver. Damage done on his Zeus as he holds close to the other side of this smoke, trying to catch the players as they emerge from short, and he's going to find them all as Simple and Flamey chipping in there. Na'Vi winning the first here in overtime, 16-15 now. Let's not forget the magic number, as we just saw, that we are looking for is 19 rounds. And you know, your big worry now, if you are Fnatic, is Simple starting to find his footing in these last few rounds. You know, you think about the path that they took to get here. Simple looking key with that AWP in particular. Had a very, very slow start to this game. It wasn't really till around about around 20, 22, 23 where we start to see things switch up. The CT side has been much better for him.
It always is. Or at least it has been this week. Edward, another key player player here for Na'Vi getting flashed in. That's a great flashbang. Crims, who's constantly just been poking and prodding down on this B site the entire T side, he's just been removed straight off the bat. And because he was that solo lurk player for Fnatic, it's made things very difficult. They lost a sizable amount of map control, and that's why we still have Edward aggressive on short. They're actually joined by Flamey this time. So now anything Fnatic do, Na'Vi know that it's all up on A. All 4 players are here. And they can set up their CTs for that information. We've got Simple and Electronic deep on long. Zeus on the site, making sure no one actually hits toilets. And Simple can always rotate back, as he is doing now with the AWP. This flash should pop exist out through the window there. Does he realize Edward's in the corner? That's a no. Just shuts the door. Only trying to fake out the short control, but because Edward's in this position, he knows it's a fake, and he'll take that fight. Exist is dead. 5-on-3 now for Na'Vi, and things are not looking good for Fnatic.
Ooh, but JW gonna go ahead and pluck Simple from the sky as he's jump peeking there for the information. Oh, you're right. On Electronic, wrapping around from behind. Zeus now trying to hold off this bomb site play. Bomb goes down for Fnatic. Electronic arriving a little too late to deny it. It is going to get planted over here on the truck. JW caught out in the open. Now leaves Brolin and Twist, the 2 youngsters of this Fnatic roster. Relatively speaking. Going to try and see them through. They have been able to do the damage thus far. Brolin waiting and powering through that smoke as Edward, but Brolin wins his fight. Electronic on this flank now has so much to do. So little time to do it, and he has found the first, but surely not Brolin as well. He's on the clock and he knows it. Brolin able to hold his own and picks up 3 frags there to cement a 16th round on the board for Fnatic.
Such a big brain play as well from Brolin, because we actually saw Electronic on short shooting a couple of shots to try and drag Brolin's attention back towards short, which allowed Edward to push. It's what you see teams do when they either don't have utility or don't want to throw flashbangs. You just see one player shoot, draw the attention away of the enemies that they know where they are, and allow Edward to push through the smoke. But Brolin, ready for it, does get all 3 kills in that round. And Fnatic, despite being in a very uncomfortable 5-on-3, or sorry, 3-on-5 in favor of Na'Vi, they bounce back in a big way as well. Twist is now joining JW with that secondary AWP. Not the most common on the T side, but this is Overpass. One of the probably 2 or 3 maps you can justify it on. I'd say, you know, Dust 2, Train, also maps where you can occasionally see double T-side ops. Train probably the best for that, but Flamey gets aggressive this round. No flashbang in the face of Crims, and he will win his duel. JW, also in a very good spot considering Electronic is kind of hung out to dry here. He's got no teammates, and if Fnatic find this kill without Electronic taking anyone down, that's where things could really get difficult. Simple's getting tagged down on B in the meantime, and these nades are raining in from Fnatic. Electronic's position is really good, but Brolin is better, and the dink animation comes back to haunt Electronic as Brolin finds a 1-bullet kill.
Yeah, that Electronic guy must feel pretty upset on the back of that one. He's gone down, and now we're going to see the remaining 5 players for Fnatic setting up outside of this A bomb site. JW besting Simple yet again. This time through the edge of a box, and now Crim's going to go to knock the socks off of Zeus. Edward whiffs that spray. Now they know exactly where he is. Crim's going to mop up everyone. 17-16 in favor of Fnatic here at the end of that first half. Moving into their CT side. If you recall, they were slightly more successful here even. And for Na'Vi, you had Simple so much more quiet on their T side initially. We're going to need to see him pick things up here if Na'Vi want to have any chance of picking up this map, because now they're in that situation where you've got to go flawless here. If you want to win on this T side, you've got to get 3 in a row. Again,
this is the first time we've seen Fnatic play this map with this new additional couple of players to the roster. I've been really enjoying watching Crims on this B bomb site. He's been so good on that T side, just prodding every single round and just keeping Na'Vi, you know, constantly guessing. Na'Vi definitely had some rounds where they realized what he was doing and flashed him out, got aggressive, got rid of him. But Crims is really good at just sneaking in through Monster, cutting off those short rotations, just being a nuisance. And Fnatic, as a result, a lead, 17-16. We even saw Crims in that previous round just walk into B and find both kills as Na'Vi tried to rotate back up towards that A site. Simple's on that AWP, 2 for Fnatic as you would expect here coming into the CT rounds. Simple's quick in the connector, but no one's going to be taking this fight from Fnatic. No one wants to run in and take the risk. Flamey going to be smoking it off, and Electronic does get naded, but we have Na'Vi trying to take B water control, and they're successful in doing so. Kind of forfeiting A in this round, as only Edward sits outside that portion of the map. Later, Na'Vi might try and worm their way up the connector, but look at JW here. He's in a good spot to get a one and done. Just got to be wary of the fact that Na'Vi can easily push up through this connector and flank his left side of the toilet, so he can't hold this position for too long unless Brolin comes in to support, and he does exactly that. So now Brolin side by side with JW once again on this A bomb site. So nade damage for Na'Vi as they keep Twist honest on 54 HP. And now Na'Vi beginning to rotate back up to A, but look at Zeus. Really trying to sell this fake.
He is, and he's done a decent job. But JW, he's looking so warm, so crisp in these last few rounds. Is this man? He's gone ahead and first frag. Actually, Electronic going to go to chime in with the return onto Brolin. The frags go left and right, but ultimately now Exist doing a great job of slowing down this push. He's going to go ahead and keep doing the damage. He's dropped Simple. It's Zeus and Flamey left alive, and while they do pick up Twist, it still Exist and JW here just picking this A side take apart. Na'Vi, the bomb's out in the open, and Flamey has it all to do. 10 seconds left, and that bomb still yet to go down. Fnatic one away from arriving at match point, 18 to 16 now. And once again, they're going to have 2 chances to close this out. Same as what we saw in regulation. Fnatic going to be the team arriving at match point. Na'Vi having to claw their way back into this.
Yeah, this has been really, really sick from Fnatic. Na'Vi have been, you know, completely pushed out of this CT side. Again, you mentioned it before going into the second half, is Fnatic, they were already winning the CT side when it came to regulation, so now going into overtime with a round advantage anyway, this just makes things easier. One more needed for the Swedes. What a game this would be to be able to actually take a map off of Na'Vi, who have been near flawless in Pro League so far. But we're not done just yet, Harry, and JW, he's already realised that, been tagged up in the toilets. Edward can't afford to sneak into this angle. JW is poised. With Brolin on support once again, watching his left. So who will Edward choose to walk into? Simple's dropped down. Nice shot from Simple as well, expecting that position from JW. Now Brolin, he can't afford to be so aggressive, so he tries to retreat, but gets a lot of damage on the way down. Na'Vi are going to probably try and take him down as a result, and he gets aggressive once again with a flashbang going through. Flamey looks away, and he'll get that refrag back in to put Na'Vi in a 5-on-3.
Now rotating through, going to need some support, but you still have that man in the back line in the form of Electronic. Down on that B bomb site, wrapped through late, and Twist is suddenly left in a 1v4. He's all the way over in T-spawn. Very, very far removed from this, but they've gone back with the bomb. They hear the footsteps, they know that Twist is here, they're giving him these fights, so he's found this first one-on-one. Now this should be where they trade him, and indeed it is. Flamey's going to pick that up. 17 to 18, still the chance at a double overtime. Quick B-Stream update for you, by the way. Big just besting out Mouse Sports on Dust 2 in the first map of the day over there, 19 to 16. That was a quiet performance from Chris J and Oscar, the 2 authors for Mouse Sports, and a great performance from Tizian. Not normally the name that we see up at the top of the board, but good stuff from him.
Bit of a newfound rivalry there between those 2 teams, if
Exactly,
we caught our eyes on the Star Series as well, so that's a huge win for Big. Funnily enough, we did see Smooyer at the bottom of the board for his team now, which is never fun.
We
but
blanket over that bit,
yeah.
but
Simple back on this boost. As, well, I guess in a real metaphorical sense, this is him being carried and lifted up by the rest of his team, which is a welcome change. He's now going to go ahead and turn his attention out here towards mid, but Brolin, along with Exist, and actually a bunch of the Fnatic boys already posted up here. They're going to get bested by Edward initially. And despite there being so many Fnatic bodies over here in mid, there's no trades coming through. JW will get forced off the angle by that flash. Now he's got to start to give up this area of the ground. Exist will find one at long and smokes it off. Just looks to exit. He's found them in the 4-on-4, and that is enough for him.
You know what I want to watch? I want to watch teams start to pre-aim this boost spot that Na'Vi are going for from heaven. CTs can get there before the boost comes in, so yeah. Hopefully in the future that'll be something that teams start to exploit against this team. Because
I think you could reliably find the opener there, right?
Like, you get there first. It's just the surprise factor of not expecting that angle. If you know the angle, if you know Na'Vi are going to go for the boost, and you check it every round, one day you'll kill them.
No, I'm sure there's a creative little wall bang you could find to just take out the guy at the base of the boost or something like that.
Someone will find that.
Yeah, you know, that'll be a thing at some point, but regardless, Electronic, he has been able to give Na'Vi a means back into this round. They do know the whereabouts of Twist. He goes ahead and plays it safe, falls back. The bomb on the back is Simple out here towards the A bomb set. There's only 14 seconds left, and the rest of the guys are down on B. They're trying to sell this fake. They put a lot of faith in Simple, and he does find that frag onto Twist. The bomb's going to go down now, and the fake, this has somehow worked brilliantly for Na'Vi. Exist does dispatch of Edward, that lone flanker. Now they know that Electronic is separated from Simple for the time being. As it stands, they could find this 1v1 duel onto Simple. We need to see the 2 stars and Na'Vi stepping up now if they want to take this through to a double overtime, and indeed they do. 18-18, another overtime on the cards, Hugo. As we head on in, we want to go ahead and have the best opening match we can, have it come down to the wire. And you don't get any closer than this.
What a hugely ballsy round from Na'Vi there. They had 10 seconds left. They send 2 out of 3 of their players alone on that B bomb site while Simple just tries to get the bomb down on A. Of course, that 2-player push completely draws Fnatic's fake, and JW, who was playing the dumpster, actually rotates down towards that CT spawn. So, yeah, it works out wonderfully for Na'Vi, but that's only down to it being in a 3-on-3, and Fnatic therefore having to concede control of long. Allowed Simple to sneak up into position. Na'Vi really exploiting a gap in Fnatic's defense in that round to a big way, winning them the round and pulling them back into, as you say, another overtime. JW, the only AWP for the CT side this time. And let's see where he goes. He is going to be getting set up on long. Regression and connector here from Fnatic. First time we've seen this in quite a while. Na'Vi is just going to try and counter it with some of their own utility. We actually have a boost up, and that's to stop Na'Vi from getting quick control of B short. But you can't hold this for too long, because not only are you aware of that A flank, but also the players down in the connector, and Crims can hear shots. Fnatic have no support up from the top of short. It's only JW watching long, so now Na'Vi have been gifted all this map control. Yeah, and they've basically caught the connector players.
Yeah, they're not normally a team to move too quickly, but if they did head in towards this A bomb site now, because you have, you know, the bulk of the defense trapped down in connector, they could have found a means in, but Crims, he's actually dealt with the man responsible for watching these connector players. That was Electronic getting found there on the ladder. So Na'Vi setting up for the A play, the rotation's coming in, and that's because Fnatic, they've cut this map in 2. You can see it right now. They have this set up down in the connector over towards T-ramp. They know that no one's over here towards B anymore. And as a result, Na'Vi, they've only got one spot they can try and make this round happen in, and that's over here towards A. JW, who's looked utterly fantastic on this CT side, or going to look to try and roar to life now. He needs some support, and Flamey's going to find him exist. Hanging his teammate out to dry a bit there. Does find good damage. Flamey does what he can. There's 25 seconds, and Brolin on this wraparound from behind doing the damage. Does have Twist to help out, but suddenly Zeus has found the double to get the job done, and it's Crims on this wrap round from long. Does find Zeus, but he still has Flamey left to contend with.
Oh, the flash doesn't go out as well. He's pushing out dry, picks up a smoke, and that'll go on the bomb, but Flamey hears the click, and he peeks out wide. There's the frag from him. Massive 3K from Flamey, reaching 30 kills. The first player in the server to do so. And what a resurgence from him as well. Top of the server. 19 rounds to Na'Vi. Of that huge performance, and being able to actually get out of that one despite Fnatic kind of having them sectioned off. That's a really nice round from Na'Vi. We now have the double AWP for the CT side. Na'Vi maybe speeding up the pace a little bit because they've dropped theirs off of Simple. Again, not really been having this T-side performance. While he did bring it back in the second half, even on this overtime, it's the T-side seeming to be the bane of his existence, and JW dropping the bomb in connector and Twist getting aggressive is going to really complicate this round.
Yeah, now suddenly you have to try and retrieve that bomb back from the clutches of Fnatic. Not only that, the Euroman down. So Fnatic, they know they can afford to give this bomb up. They might have it in connector. It's not the nicest place to try and hold, so they do just back away, knowing now they can sit comfortably in a 4v3. Na'Vi still having to waste a lot of time, a lot of manpower, retaking this portion of the map, even if it is left empty by Fnatic. They will manage to take it back entirely for free. You still have a man over here in mid as well, in the form of JW. He has to be a little bit careful because there's no trade potential in him being here. And now, he doesn't know if long's clear, so he's kind of trapped in this section of the map, at least for the time being. We know that he's in no danger right now, but he does not. Simple, going to get boosted up, doesn't spot anything just yet.
No one from Fnatic going to open themselves up to this angle. Tries to jump shot. Twist there over toward Graffiti, but Edward leading the charge out from Monster. Now the players from short look to try and barrel in as well, but Exist spots the shadow, catches the timing. It all falls onto Simple, and Exist in with the double. 19 to 19, all tied up, Hugo. Of course, the magic number, once again, we're looking for is 22. You can see that on your screens right there.
Yeah, Simple heard the scope of Twist back in the spawn, so obviously knew he couldn't get a shot onto him, so optimistic jump. One day it's going to work, but nice work from Exist down on that B bomb site, anchoring it well. He was really deep and committed on his own, but spots the shadow of the player Edward up on Monster and is able to convert 2 kills as a result. Fnatic back to the double orb, keeping things fresh and new, constantly changing up this CT side, which is something you like to see. Now they've thrown JW up on long. Twist, he's going to be on that B bomb site once again. He seems pretty relentless with his aggression. However, Fnatic this time have gone extremely passive. Na'Vi have thrown in a lot of early smokes towards B, but it's been countered. And Na'Vi still have plenty of utility, whereas Fnatic have burned out most of their nades down on this B bomb site. That's a huge opener for this T side, and Electronic has already found exactly that, taking down Exist. Crims using his smoke to try and find a one-way on top of short, but he can't see a thing. And Twist, while he does drop one, Crims has been forced back off of the angle. Bad flash for Na'Vi. That may cost them some time, but they still have plenty of it, as this early push has allowed them to get control of the site. Fnatic set up for the retake here, but this bomb needs to go down first.
It does finally come in, but Twist still holding this angle. They just cannot peek on into him. He's giving Na'Vi no room to maneuver. These after plants they've been able to get into looking reasonably dire. There's no trade potential either as the smoke's down on short. You have these two players divided, and Electronic is barreling on in through that smoke. He's going to fall, and Brolin and Crims mop up everybody. Fnatic 20 to 19. We need to see a flawless CT side half from Na'Vi if they want to pick this up, or just 2 rounds from Fnatic on this T side.
Again, we had this already from Fnatic on the CT side, right? Going in with a lead, and now they've done the same on the other half. Now over to the T side with the lead, and still unable to close out the game in the past in both regulation when they had 15 first and in the first overtime. Na'Vi always clawing back. Seems like this team has so much willpower to keep the game going, but not enough to take the victory. So let's see if maybe their CT overtime could do it.
Yeah, this is where, you know, you're probably going to, like, on paper, you should really start to look at Na'Vi maybe even being the favorites the longer this game goes on, right? They're just the team that's been together longer out of these two, you know, like they're more established. They have that ability to grind these games out. That's been the Na'Vi style, right? But over on the side of Fnatic, the question for me becomes is you look at Brolin, who, you know, I mean, there's very little in terms of a difference in these kill distributions right now for Fnatic. For me, it's going to be, you know, can he kind of keep up now? As this game becomes a bit of a slog, as it becomes, you know, a lot more messy, it's a lot more scrappy, are we going to see him be able to keep putting up these same numbers and kind of slotting in to the positions that Fnatic need him? Because he's been doing a good job of that thus far.
Simple and Flamey back on these orbs here for Na'Vi. Brolin just running through that Molotov. Nice aggressive position from Simple. Does kind of give up the party here, but it's not a problem because Electronic is close by him in the toilets. This duo has been so good on that A bomb site. Think about the amount of times in regulation that Na'Vi bailed out uncomfortable positions with Electronic and Simple just having some nice crossfires on A. That's one of the reasons we're still in this game today. Fnatic, where do they go? B looks to be their early call at least. They have Crims kind of pushed up again. He's been so good in this position. Edward flashed in, but Crims just moved off the angle, so he won't get any info for that. If anything, just gets misinformation for Na'Vi that maybe B isn't as contested as they thought, but now with wallbangs coming in from Exist, keeping these CTs honest, Crims can move into position to set up his own utility, not fearful of any more pushing. Na'Vi definitely won't be doing that because it's Fnatic bringing the heat through the Molotov. Brolin's found his way straight into the site. Edward smoked off short already, so he's just got to focus on this long position, but Brolin's already taking off his head, keeping it up into overtime indeed. The problem is, Na'Vi have doubled back and they found themselves 2 kills in response. The smoke's starting to fade for Fnatic, and while they have 1 left on JW, that needs to go down quickly. It will. The plant hasn't come in just yet. 28 seconds on the clock. Crims catching a rotation, and now the plant is in for Fnatic in a 3-on-3.
Yeah, Crims might have just made the biggest difference in this round. He's locked down short, and you can see the effect this has had as well. Not only was it the equalizer, but it's meant that all the Fnatic players can just group up in this portion of the map. Now, this could be a blessing or occur. Crim's doing so much damage there. Might even get it the second time around. Just misses the timing. The issue is there's still smokes up for Na'Vi. They've missed though, and the bomb's plotting perfectly here for the short position. You can see Crim's even pushing in. Does give up this first kill, and now it's Exist left to clutch. He's been good in these high pressure situations. He has to connect the spray, but they're gonna get the defuse, and he might find all the kills necessary, but Na'Vi still picking up the round at 20-20. And, well, much like scoreline, much like hindsight, you know, Crim's going to be kicking himself that he commits so much to that fight, goes so deep into the bomb site when they weren't actually on the defuse yet. That's what gives it up for Fnatic, so...
Yeah, that's the fear of when you hear a bomb get tapped in a 3-on-3, because you don't know if someone's sticking it, if it's in a smoke. It's so easy for Na'Vi to just fake out that bomb, but also in a 3-on-3, it's very likely that someone has committed to the defuse. And look at that push from Edward again. These B short flashes have really been starting to get the better of Crims. He had a great start taking down all this pressure on B, but now it's starting to get more difficult as Na'Vi kind of conned on to exactly what Crims has been throwing in. The young gun for Fnatic, Brolin, top of the scoreboard right now. You might need to step up here with a disadvantage for Fnatic. So Na'Vi have taken some serious casualties in the form of damage to Flamey. Certainly not clean right now. It just makes these players more susceptible to the utility that Fnatic have, and there's plenty of that where that came from. 50 seconds on the clock as Fnatic look at this A-bomb site, but one key is going to be Edward, right? Because if Fnatic do commit towards A, not only do we have a triple setup for Na'Vi, but Edward is going to be in such a great spot to flank up. There's no Crims down on B now to be a nuisance to stop Edward rotating, and Fnatic are throwing all these nades. Edward's going to hear every single piece of utility go out. He knows this is the A push. He can call this to his team and get quickly on that flank.
Simple miss shot, very uncharacteristic, but yeah, you're dead on. Edward looking to try and bail them out. JW, though, he's toppled the beast in the backline. And now they try and turn their attention down here towards B. Just Flamey here. They've only got 15 seconds of Flamey finding that one kill. That might be enough to do it, because JW now, he's left the bomb. And that round was all over on the back of that. It doesn't even matter if he found, you know, two kills inside that B bomb site. It was still no time. So, that's Na'Vi taking the lead at 21-20. Triple overtime at least locked in here for the Na'Vi side. Buy back up for Fnatic. Na'Vi, are they finally going to get this one wrapped up, or are we going to head on through to another overtime here on Overpass? Either way, you cannot complain. It's been a fantastic game thus far, Fnatic. You know, they've been the team time and time again to have the opportunities, right, to close this game out. They've been the team arriving at match point. This is the first time that they haven't. And you know, now it's them on the back foot for a change. They're the ones having to grind themselves back into this, show that mental fortitude and the ability to be resilient even in the face of almost defeat here.
Despite no kills coming through, there's so much damage across both these teams. JW, oh my god, Simple jumps up and hits a shot. JW just missing how close. Now Na'Vi, they're the ones with the man advantage on match point as well, as you say, Harry. Their opportunity to close out this game, to not give Fnatic an opportunity back in. Still loads of utility for Na'Vi in terms of how much time has ticked past a minute. It's already gone 45 seconds on the clock, and Na'Vi hold on to 3 smokes and an incendiary, one of those going down. Got to keep Fnatic at bay. They've got their own though, and they'll be throwing that right into the B site. Na'Vi are fully set up here, they're ready and waiting. Only one player not going to be in position to stop this, and Flamey, he's here with the AWP.
Get bested by Twist, but there's already so many players here for Na'Vi are walking into the stack, and now Twist, a 1v4 would be needed, and Simple shuts down absolutely everything. Na'Vi going to be finally closing out this game 22-20 as they're able to get the job done. Simple finding his form there towards the end of overtime at a crucial moment for the Na'Vi boys.
Yeah, really nice map to see. Even though it took their time, Na'Vi, they didn't give up despite Fnatic having all these match points. And we're going to be seeing them now have a map advantage going into that second best of one of the day with these two teams. Be sure to join us just in a few minutes after the break for both the desk and that second map.
Incendiary out.
Did I seriously get that dude in smoke?
Yo. Oh my.
Game, record, and stream without compromise. An Intel Core i7.
I've been there since the beginning. Every map, every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game.
It's that time of year again as the fall season of MDL returns. Watch the best teams from all around the world compete for their chance to make it to the Global Challenge. MDL is returning again to give aspiring esports teams the chance to make it to that upper echelon of play. You can catch all of the action on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, twitch.tv/ESEA.
The Intel Extreme Masters is headed to the Midwest this November in Chicago. Get your tickets now at iem.gg/tickets.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And another marathon here on the side of Not As Sincere as they find success over this here Fnatic team. 22-20 was the scoreline, and it went the full distance there on Overpass. Chad and I are going to begin to break this one down as best as possible. Navi seem to be on a tear with these overtimes.
Yeah, man, they're loving their close games, but it's not just us here on the main stream. The secondary stream also had an overtime game with the Mousesports versus Big matchup on Dust 2. Big taking that one in overtime 19-16, so that's your B stream update out of the way. But looking at this one, just to get us to that point of overtime, the points we were making, right? the fact of everybody contributing for this Na'Vi roster, just to get them to overtime, Zeus won a 1-on-2 situation. This just shows you everyone's contributing, everyone's firing on all cylinders like you were talking about, Trace, and they're having to fight from behind. They were down 14-13, came back, took it to OT, managed to get the victory.
And I mean, if we talk stats, we could talk a little bit about the Fnatic side, where in which we did see, I don't want to say debut, but definitely a new-looking Fnatic lineup here with Twist and Brolan also in the team. It kind of sets the tone for how they presented themselves throughout this matchup. Now, Chad, what are you thinking about this here look?
Well, the fact of the matter is to take a team like Na'Vi this far, win the early stages on a map that we haven't seen them play yet. This is the first time, so you could say a debut for Fnatic on the map of Overpass. These are fantastic signs, right? Brolan putting up 32 kills. You've got on the likes of Twist 30 as well. Everybody contributed. It's quite even as far as the frag charts are talking here. It wasn't just, you know, the Crim show, or JW wasn't just styling on everybody. They played well as a team. You can see how they're able to play off of each other, and the individual brilliance is shining through when it has to.
Yes, and just like that, we did see some flashiness there from side of Edward just a little bit, but for what it's worth, Fnatic have been toppled here, and it wasn't overtime. Seeing this did go the distance. Let's talk about what Na'Vi did right, Chad.
Well, these are the games, right, when they go overtime, that's so back and forth, and these pivot rounds that we always talk about, the game-changing rounds, we had 9 1vx situations in this game alone. That tells you how many of these scenarios